Go ahead, Jan.
Finish your food?
No, not at all. I'm ready to hear about it.
So I dreamed that I was on a school bus. You were the driver.
Yes.
And we were going up this road, which was a hill, and it was snowy, icy.
Right.
And you know how school buses are? They're not the best thing to be out in the snow in.
They're really not.
They're really not.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't many other people on the bus. It wasn't a crowded bus at all.
No, it wasn't.
No. And
can I just interrupt you for 1 second?
please.
Do you know what the dream means? I'm just curious, because I know exactly what it means and what happened, but I'm just wondering where your level of perception is.
I'm in school. It's uphill. It's ascension. It's greater consciousness. Do you think it's something else?
That's exactly what it is. Boy, you're good. Because some people be like, oh, that's strange. Oh. But no, you're good. You're really keyed in, Janice.
And I even know what the icy road is. It's a firm foundation. Ice, some people could think that ice is a tenuous surface, but it's not. It's solid.
It is. It is. But one of the things that I would say is that on your way to ascending to higher heights, it's extremely slippery. And it's very elusive. And that's what that means. And the fact that the bus was not crowded, that means that very many people are called, few are chosen, even fewer choose themselves. And you're one of the people.
Fewer show up.
Well, if you choose yourself, that's pretty much the same. But you have chosen yourself to be in that number, and you're eligible for ascension. And that is not an unlikely event. That's very, very serious.
Wonderful.
But go ahead, please.
Totally cool. So I'm on this bus with you, and I see what we're about to do, and I'm like, uh-oh. Is this cool? And you're like, yeah, no big deal. And up the bus went. It was like, all right, we're going. Nothing's going to happen. Fine. I know what to do. And, and then so many things have happened since yesterday morning. And then there was that cycle of energy, and I didn't want to wake up from it. Now my alarm is starting to go off. It's 7 o'clock. It was awesome that the dream came right before I woke up, because that's what I remember the most, right before I wake up. Yes. And so there was this cycle of energy that you were giving me, and it was just like in a circle. It was just coming in and going through and coming out and coming in and going through, and then there were the words, blessing, clearing, and so I had hit snooze, so that was about 10 minutes, and then the alarm went off again, and the energy was still coming. So I hit snooze again, and the energy was still coming, and I'm just laying there like, oh yeah, baby, like bring it. It was just so clear.
Right.
Finally, after 10 or 12 minutes of hitting the snooze, I was like, all right, I really got to get up. Thank you very much.
Right.
Time to return to the body. It was awesome. I felt like, well, I think maybe I already got my Reiki transmission.
Wow.
So, that was even more powerful than what happened in the afternoon when I sat intentionally and lit my candle and prop myself up on pillows in the bed. Because I was like, by then it was kind of anticlimactic. I was like, all right, is something really fantastic going to happen here? Am I going to have vision? But it was much more mellow in the afternoon.
Well, that sounds great. And what I would offer to you as well is that when I stood you in front of my altar, I placed certain energies in your body and words of power. So I gave you a divine world prayer and certain level 3 acceleration healings, which is good. So as a precursor, when you were sleeping, the lucidity of your dreams right before you wake up, it's a beautiful thing because it's what you remember the most. And you were definitely prepped in a good way for your download. But no, that's a great experience. I'm really glad that you had that level of viscerality with this just being your first attunement. That's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Wonderful.
Yeah, and you had a great vision as well. And like I said, that dream. I want you to start referring to your dreams as not figments of your imagination. They are real occurrences of what you are doing outside of the body. And one of my students, she lives in California. She's a mystic, actually. She smokes, unfortunately, and when she smokes, faces always appear in the smoke in different objects. It's really fascinating. But anyway, even before I started teaching, she started seeing me on the astral plane. And she had a really powerful experience where she said that there were two teachers. One teacher had his students and they turned into stone. And you were the teacher and you took off in the air and your students were with you, and when you guys took flight, all of your students' garments turned white.
Wow.
And this was about 2 years ago. And I've gotten this kind of dream many times, Janice, and the reason that the Spirit is constantly having people confirm outside of my own self and what I believe is that they're asking me to continue to teach, and they're backing me up with the success and the visions that other people are having because there are moments, Janice, where sometimes I question things or I doubt, or it just seems like, I fall back into the humanity of what this illusion is, and that's when I constantly get these things. So it's a beautiful thing.
Well, when your students can reflect back to you that validation, that's your little green flag of, keep going, you're on the right track. So even when you doubt yourself, you have us reflecting back to you. Our experience.
Right.
Which came through you.
Absolutely. And
I sent you Reiki this morning. I sent you Reiki love and gratitude.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you. I receive it. Mm-hmm.
One teacher.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. So I'm excited for you, Janice, because I think that with you're in a learning phase, and you're treating yourself really well. And I'm going to tell you something. That's, with everything you have gone through, what I do know about you is that you're open. And a person who's closed cannot open themselves up to learn and receive things. And you treat yourself very well. And you can't treat yourself well if you don't love yourself. And somebody who is broken and unhealed is incapable of loving themselves, and especially loving someone else. So my diagnosis of you and my perception of you is that you are definitely, you're a whole woman, and you have survived certain things that have made you strong. But I don't ever want you to doubt the strength that you have, and that you do have self-love, and that is a powerful foundation to have in terms of being able to move onward and upward.
Thank you, because sometimes I wonder if I'm broken.
You're not. You're totally not. There's a difference between a boxer who's in the ring and he gets down on one knee and capitulates the fight and throws in the towel like, I can't go back out there. You're not that at all. You're like, no, I'm going to, I've got some blows and, my rib hurts and some other things, but you're not someone who's, given up, and you're not broken at all. You got a couple of wounds, of course, but you're by far not broke.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
It's, like you, in my work, coaching people, I'm always reflecting back to them their beauty and their strength and their opportunity and where I see them excelling. And it's good to get that for me. It's good to have someone reflect that to me. If we can't see ourselves, it's clearly it's someone else.
That's true. That's true. The eye can't see itself. Absolutely, beloved. So,
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and just continue to do that. Continue to treat yourself well and cherish yourself and do that, because you'll find that when you reflect back on those things, and I'm sure you know this, I'm just being a sounding board at the moment. When you look back on those things, it's going to be like another lifetime ago. Like, you know what I mean? And it's so funny because even the gods, if you think about it, when the gods walked the face of this planet, they were demigods, but a lot of them have risen to a stature. And when you do arrive at the 6th and 7th dimension where a lot of them are, do you realize that they're so huge? They're huge. Like, you might literally be at the tip of a speck on their body, and it appears as if they're moving really slow, but they're not. The frequency that they're on and the dimension that they're on, everything is different. But they're extremely powerful, and they were not like that thousands of years ago. So they're continuing to evolve.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you look at Lord... Go ahead.
Is that their reward? Is it a reward?
You know, I don't want to say it's a reward, because that has a different connotation. But what I will say, it's a natural process. It's a natural course of evolution. That when, like you, for instance, you know, your baby girl, right? You're affording her the benefit and the luxury of going to college. She's going to go out there and do better than her mommy did. And she's going to probably have her own business, her own children, her own life, and she's going to reverberate that and enrich your life because of what you've afforded her to do. And at a certain point, when you're in your golden years, she's, you know, your grandchildren and your child, they're going to make your life a lot easier and a lot better. And they're also, because you're going to teach them how to honor you when you cross over. And that's even going to be even bigger. They're going to support what you're doing in the spirit world, and you're also going to give blessings back to them. So if you start inculcating, like my son, my youngest son, Isaiah, when he comes to my house, it's beautiful. He stands in front of the altar and he acknowledges the gods, and he has seen his own share of miracles. So I'm so, and he's a Taurus, no doubt, but I'm very confident that when I do leave this earthly plane, him and I will definitely have that symbiotic relationship from spirit to physical, and my oldest daughter too, and hopefully my 3 in between. But right now I know my oldest and my youngest, they've been inculcated with that, which is great. Yeah. Awesome. You get me to go on these long tangents, don't you? It's very interesting.
Why you don't do that with everyone?
No, I don't. I work on being more concise with other people, because people inadvertently like to rob you of your time.
Right.
But you're not like that.
Okay.
You're not that at all. So I don't mind talking to you, but then I catch myself and I'm like, oh God, I just went on another 20-minute tangent. Great.
But I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what it is. And so what do you have planned for the rest of the day? You know that you have your second attunement tomorrow. You have the email already. And your window will be the same. So same process, same thing.